Hello, Generals. This is Fiasco back with Ultimate General Civil War for the Battle of Seven Pines, which is a very small fight leading up to the last portion of Gaines's Mill. As a special note, it is the 3rd of July, 2018, and it's the 155th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg, specifically the third day. So between today and tomorrow, happy 4th, and we're going to jump into Seven Pines. I'm bringing 1st and 2nd Dragoon. They are both this close to picking up their 2nd star. We're going to go ahead and get some experience for some of our artillery units, and then 3 infantry. Situation's critical. Situation is critical. Union position is under attack, and there's not really... The Confederates are just right on us, and there's not really a great deal of defensive terrain or anything like that. So the army basically has to give ground in order to buy time, in essence. And instead of fighting kind of spread out, I think I'm going to heavily weight one particular flank and then try and claim this part of the battlefield. I want to operate here. I feel like this is the closest thing I've got to defensive terrain, which means these guys are going to retreat towards the center, and these guys are going to give ground until reinforcements can come and stabilize their position. We'll see how that plays out, and then we'll just give it a shot. So we immediately note that we are under attack by relatively huge units. Let's take a look at the status of our allies. Howe is an okay unit with 55s. Abercrombie is an okay unit with 55s. Springfield, that is. Our center is held by 2 tiny units with Springfield 42s. And then our extreme left is held by 2 good-sized brigades with Springfield 55s. Randolph's battery and McCarthy's battery are both 10-pound Parrots as far as the guns are concerned, but they are led by captains, which is evidently not a major issue as far as the command stat is concerned. So there's that to think about as far as that part's concerned. But as mentioned before, we are going to fall back on our left, as there's no reason to hold that ground. And we are also going to fall back on the right, as I do not currently have assets in place to hold the Confederates there. Now we're going to move quickly to rectify that situation. And we'll see how it goes. This can be an incredibly messy battle, especially because with the Confederate numbers situation, it could turn into a slug match in open ground, and you just don't want to do that. There's, even if you can win the fight, you can, you're going to come away from it with so many losses that it's hard. Hard to bounce back. And the Union guys here are just getting overrun. Okay. So here comes the first Confederate attack. Pretty punishing volley. And there's just no... Ah, damn it. That's pretty uninspiring. Okay. So, if nothing else, we've slowly started to stabilize the line. And we're punishing the Confederates for approaching. We still haven't taken the center yet. And some of our units have taken some serious punishment. I'm not happy about 13th eating that volley like that. And I haven't been able to get the cavalry really into the battle yet. There's just not been a place for them to maneuver. But they are being punished for attacking an army in the open like this. And once we send Hatton running, we can begin kind of turning this flank over here back to Union control. And that's when I can start getting the cav involved. Huh. Okay. I mean, in fairness, the skirmishers here do almost outnumber that line infantry unit, and they are a significantly better unit in terms of that. Statistical breakdown. So what I'm concerned about happening over here is... really, I'm not terribly concerned about Anderson, but I'm worried about Hood making contact, because I'm pretty sure Hood can pull this off. So I need to basically just suck it up and refuse the flank and then try and turn over here. But the momentum is starting to be on our side on this part of the battlefield, and it's just not going well over here. I have to rely on maybe overlapping fields of fire, or maybe the fact that this appears to be kind of a elevated terrain over here. I don't know how to stop these guys from just pushing my shit in. So we'll have to figure that out. So I can get the cav in the battle soon here, and they can start kind of wrapping up some of these cannon units, and maybe even getting flank shots on the force over here, allowing me... The ultimate objective of the cav units is really for them to both get their second star, hunt some cannons, maybe once the Confederate artillery is knocked out of the field, because they've got, 15 guns, so that's probably this unit and maybe another over here. Once I can get the Confederate artillery off of the battlefield and I can claim basically this line, they're going to be kind of SOL as far as positions are concerned. And it's just, and this is why I'm using allied units to handle most of this fighting. This is just buying time over here until that can happen. Yeah, okay. So it looks like there's two artillery units. This could be quite the spoiling effect over here. Routing up some of these artillery. Maybe if I get lucky and getting some shots into hill, that could have a great force multiplier effect, in that when Confederate units rout, they won't be as able to get back into the fight. But until any of these attacks bear fruit, this is going to continue to be a slog, I think. I'm not super worried about Confederate artillery. They haven't really shown themselves to be a major presence on the battlefield yet. But anything I can do to remove them from the equation sooner rather than later is certainly a good thing. And we need to punish Hood for simply existing. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can't get lucky with Hill and get some shots off on, or yeah, with First Dragoon, see if I can't get some shots off on Hill, or keep Rhodes busy. And the bigger threat is obviously Jones. So Jones needs to get taken out of this equation ASAP. And there's weird rules about how shooting works with cavalry and a bunch of other nonsense. Okay, so it's time to beat a hasty retreat while able. As if they're going to afford me the opportunity of detailing what, two brigades to just chase after my cav. If nothing else, the cav has then really paid for themselves, because then we can start maybe beginning to think about offense, or at least securing the territory that's defendable. They're still coming strong. Some of their units have not broken, but have gotten to the point where I would say that they're not as combat effective as they could be. But there's still a shitload of fight in this army. I want one good volley on Reigns out of Abercrombie, and then I can pull him back. Never mind. I think that was the outcome I was looking for from Reigns. It's like the AI is just as aware of the whole prioritizing artillery rule as I am. I just can't catch a break over here, man. Alright, so that's one battery down. I'm going to see if second can't get a shot off on that other battery over there. And then these units are going to keep pounding Reigns in the woods. Hopefully that gets the job done. Alright, Pettigrew. You've had enough. Ah, shit. I wasn't paying attention. That's my fault. Brigadier General so-and-so? Who's this? Johnson? John Robinson. Who is that? Okay. I care less. I hate to say it. I care about that a whole lot. I don't think we're gonna, but I'd love to start seeing some of these units shatter. That's pretty weak. What part of fall back did you take to mean, like, don't fall back? I don't know. It feels like a pretty straightforward command. Just tossing that out there. Not a lot of ways to interpret run away. Did you let yourself get shot again? God fucking damn it, dude. Knock it off.
Come on. Okay. Make these assholes pay.
There we go. All right. We've made a pretty significant dent in their artillery. We're continuing to just get fucking hammered on the right. No, left. We need to use the cav to help the middle. Because the middle can't help the fucking middle. Oh, finally, a positive development. We need to encourage Pender to get the hell out of my woods. But it's it's ever so slowly starting to work. It's not clean. I wouldn't call any of this clean. But I think this may finally be beginning to turn. So I can hear the Confederates screaming, but I wonder where they're coming in. Some of the units are in shattered territory, some of them aren't. This has been much more of a slog than I remember it being on Brigadier General. That isn't to say really anything about the BG fight. This is just it's a different enemy. It's a fun battle. A lot of good experience for the Army too, actually. Some of these units, especially 13th, are more beat up than I'd like. The Cav as well, 2nd Dragoon. Yeah, Rhodes. We're not having your shit. Get the fuck out. All the artillery's over here in a nice little park. That's just because there's not really any terrain over here I can rely on to defend, so I need the guns to sort of counterbalance the dudes. And then I've got Abercrombie just a little bit out in front of everybody else. And he's sort of he's tanking the fire, essentially. Carr and Robinson, though not in great condition, will swoop on Hood if I need them to. Once again, this battle's not going the way I expected it to. Let's see if I can't get Hardaway. Otherwise, though, I think we've got the army to the point where I think it's game over. And you can really only afford to keep these offensives up for so much longer. Alright, don't screw this up, 2nd Dragoon. You guys have been like the benighted, shitty step sibling to 1st Dragoon's continued awesomeness. These big skirmisher units are fucking killer. Alright, good job, 2nd. Finally got those cannons. It's not that I'm calling you ineffective, but if you were good at your job, you would have got them already. Just saying. Keep on walking into this. Join your buddies. Join your buddies. Yeah, there you go. Way to go, Robinson. Get out of here, whoever you are. I know I've read that name a dozen times, and I'm sure they were a historical unit, but whatever. Good experience for the Napoleons. I'll probably be trying to upgrade them to a different gun here before too long. All right, so a little over 3-1. Not quite. No, a little under 3-1 actually. If you take the guns into account. Yeah, okay, so not bad. I don't know how much of that was the AI versus my units. Can I look at losses? Only Union and only infantry. All right. So looks like a serious portion of them are my losses. That's great. 11th and 14th did fine. 13th took the brunt of it. That's fine. I don't think I brought skirmishers. Well, I guess we're counting the dragoons as skirmishers. Okay. 2nd Dragoon's not doing great. Officer side. Zach Smith, I think, is one of mine. Robinson was one of the AI units. So these guys got promoted. That's good before Gaines's Mill. I don't want to take a major if I can avoid it. Let me see. Captured a whole bunch of Springfield 55s, which is excellent. That explains the performance of the AI a bit. Rescued some of the Parrots, captured some more Napoleons, and recovered a bunch of my Cav carbine weapons. All right. It's probably not always the most perfect way to play out the Battle of Seven Pines, but it's a tough fight, especially a Major General. I'm not really sure there's an obvious solution. Captured that supply wagon for some cash and then a handful of recruits. And this is the pool of resources with which we will build the army going into Gaines Mill. I'm going to go ahead and keep on bumping medicine up. And that we have the number of corps, divisions, and brigades that we need. And I don't even come near the 2,000 man brigade size. So I'd like to see unit restore getting bumped up. Yeah. So we got a couple officers on the bench, bunch of weapons to take into the fight. It may involve arming some units of smoothbores, but I need to be able to field 120 brigade corps and 110 brigade corps, and we are not terribly far from that objective. So this is First Corps. I haven't jimmied around in terms of what units go where or anything like that, but we're 2 units shy of our goal. And then this is Second Corps, and we're 4 units shy of the goal. So a grand total of 6 units added to the army should get us ready for Gaines's Mill. I'm going to try and get the spread of what units go where a little more even and everything, and keep in mind that 1 corps is going to be there for most of the battle, and 1 corps is coming in as a secondary force, and then the ballast units will obviously go, so that'll take care of our missing reinforcements and so forth. Yeah, so that was the Battle of Seven Pines. This is Ronde. We're going up to Gaines's Mill, and this is the Union Army prepared for that particular fight. Thanks for watching. This is Fiasco signing out.